Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 8, Episode 5, and today we play an FA Cup 5th round tie against Liverpool as our chance of winning a trophy and competing for a place in Europe via the Cups seems to be on a knife edge against one of the best sides in the country. Fortunately, in terms of Europe, as you can see from the left side of the screen, it looks like we're going to qualify via the league. I have no idea how to explain what's going on this year. I really didn't expect us to do this well. I thought we'd be floating around in that sort of 7th or 8th place, possibly fighting for that last European place. But our director of football's been fantastic. He's plucked out some brilliant youngsters and the free agent signings have come good as well. So it's been absolutely revolutionary at the club. For a side that were fighting relegation when we joined a year ago, we now got an outside chance of winning the title. I know we won't beat City to it, but we could well be in the top 4 and miss out the Europa League altogether. But unfortunately we were here to win trophies, and the most important part for me was competing for the FA Cup and League Cup. We're already out of the League Cup, as you saw right at the start of the season, and now it looks like we're going to be out of the FA Cup, facing one of the big 5 as it is now, with Arsenal down in a relegation battle, and what a challenge that could be if they get relegated to the Championship. That might be a little side spin series for Fridays if it carries on as it is. But before that, we've got one bit of transfer news to tell you about. You may have noticed his name on the front screen, but our director of football splashed up to £33 million on Declan Rice from Watford, where he was currently playing his football. Obviously, we saw him when we were with Barnsley in the Championship. They won the league last year, and he seemed to be doing okay in the Premier League as well. He's a 3.5-star ability player, can play equally comfortably in the holding role or in central defence, and he's worth 40 million after joining, so it looks like a good signing. Our director of football went for some really big names as well. He tried to sign a right fullback who would have absolutely revolutionised the club, but unfortunately he wasn't able to get him in, so we were a little bit unfortunate there. That player rejected us for Liverpool. Unfortunately he's doubtful today. It's Hakimi, the right back. Just look how good he is. A 27-year-old Moroccan. I think he's at Real Madrid in real life at the moment. He's been out on loan at other clubs. He's actually at Dortmund this season, that's right. But if you look at him, he would have been a huge step up from Matiju, but unfortunately it wasn't to be, and as it is, we're stuck with our current options. But the other thing that's obviously happened off camera is we played a few more games. You were with me for that reunion against Barnsley, where they didn't manage a shot on goal at all during the game. We only won 1-0 despite having about 30 efforts. We then followed it up with a 4-0 win in the FA Cup 4th round, Mason Greenwood with a hat-trick, and Danilo getting a goal from midfield, before a 1-0 league win against today's league opponents Liverpool, but that was at home, which was slightly different. Florentin Bernard got the goal there as the Wonder Kid continues his good first season in the Premier League. We then got 3 goals in both of the last 2 games, a 3-2 win away to Bristol City, Bernard with a brace, and then Mauro Oliveira nicking it in the 91st minute, before a 3-1 win at Arsenal, which was completely comfortable after going 1-0 down. Iwobi equalised against his former club from the spot, and Mason Greenwood with a brace, the free agent coming good again. He's scored 7 goals now in the Premier League this year and 10 in all competitions. For a player we got for nothing in the summer, that's an absolutely brilliant bit of work. The second free agent our director of football got this summer, Mauro Oliveira, he's got 10 goals and 11 assists, and he's now worth 33 million. You just can't explain how good those 2 signings are without paying a penny bar a little signing on fee. But let's get into this Liverpool game. It's probably going to be a very difficult one, and it could well be heartache in the cup. But if we get through this round, we can really start to focus on winning our first big competition of the series after losing out in the final last year. Declan Rice is cup tied, and we've mentioned Liverpool have got a couple of doubtful players. Fabinho there in real life, and Hakimi, who we mentioned we tried to sign. It means we've got David Raya in goal today, still just 19 players fit. Matiju and Lewis are the fullbacks, with Lascelles and Konza in the middle. Douglas Luiz in his familiar Segundo Volante role. Billy Gilmore in central midfield as the playmaker. And then Arzani, Oliveira and Iwobi as a 3-man creative force just behind Florentin Bernard up front. So let's get into the game. We've got everyone who's fit on the bench bar Gylfi Sigurdsson. Obviously Declan Rice would help out when he's fit, but unfortunately he's not available today, and that means we're down to the bare bones. We've got a couple of wonder kids on the bench if needed, as well as the youngster Mason Greenwood, who's been scoring goals off the bench all season, but let's hope they're not needed and the starting 11 can do a special job. Let's see if we can get a result. Cross your fingers we can stay on course for the first trophy of the series. The familiar 4-2-3-1 for the Premier League side Liverpool. They've got some real star players in there. The likes of Salah, Keita, Firmino, Van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold. They're all there in real life. They've got Chiesa on the left-hand side who's a really good player. And they've got Ndidi, the youngster, who always becomes a good player on this game, as well as a few regens too. We're playing our familiar lopsided formation. We're going to tell the lads to prove a point, and fingers crossed they can do something special. We'd love to win our first trophy of the series, and I'd much rather win the FA Cup than finish in the top 4 of the league. Europa League would be the next natural progressive step for us anyway. If we manage to get in the top 4, we'll probably get interest from an elite club anyway. I know Newcastle aren't far off it in terms of stature, but in terms of financial clout and reputation at the top of the game, if we get an elite offer, we have to accept it. We would be going against the rules of the series otherwise. We mentioned a Tottenham job a couple of episodes ago. That one came to nothing, unfortunately. We mentioned a new manager in the last episode, but I just thought I'd confirm that we didn't even get an offer. Arzani gets the ball into Luiz. We've gone ahead already. What's going on there? It was a very simple move. I didn't expect it to lead to a chance so quickly, which is why we hadn't concentrated on the commentary. But Arzani with a lovely threaded through ball, and a Segundo Volante playing his role to perfection. A late run at speed and slides it into the bottom corner with his superior technical skill. Iwobi tries to intercept the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold shoots from the edge. Raya tips it over. It's a really good save, and it's now going to be a corner for Liverpool. Salah's going to take it, an outswinger. Arzani wins it at the back post, but it's down to Virgil van Dijk. He's been forced backwards, and as long as that's happening, they can't cause danger. He hoofs it forward in the end, but thankfully the highlight ends. A quarter of the game gone, and we lead 1-0 in the FA Cup 5th round. Stoke are leading at United as well, so it could be 2 surprises on the cards, and it could narrow down the competition for the final. Brass with a free kick for Liverpool, over the top towards the striker. Salah was running onto it, but Raya came out and commanded his area, and then rolls it short to Konza. He finds Jamal Lewis. Iwobi gets it out to the left to Lewis. I know we've mentioned we've got some good players here. We've got a really good squad, and our signings were brilliant, thanks to our director of football, of course, but I'm really surprised we're up in second in the league. I don't think we're that good yet. We've been quite lucky with injuries. We've never had more than 3 or 4 at once, which has meant we've always had 14 or 15 good players, but I really don't know if we can hold it up. I'm sure we'll get more injuries towards the end of the year. The ball's out for a goal kick with another wayward long shot from Liverpool, and with almost half an hour on the clock, we've still got a 1-goal lead. 5 minutes to the break. Naby Keita's picked up a knock for Liverpool. Douglas Luiz hoofs the ball forward for Bernard. He holds it up well and finds Iwobi. Charging into the box, finds Bernard again. Good save by the keeper. Tips it behind for a corner. Really good effort from the wonder kid. And now it's going to be Arzani with a corner. Into the front post. Iwobi heads it just over the bar. The keeper mustn't have got a touch. It certainly looked like he saved it. But we've got another corner now, an in-swinger. Bernard heads it just wide of the post. And unfortunately it looks like it will still just be one at the break, despite our absolute dominance in the last few minutes. It's Liverpool with a throw on the right, their last chance to get on level terms. Into Chiesa, what a save, Raya. He is an absolute machine, that man. Brass with a corner, Douglas Luiz heads away. Oliveira long towards Bernard. There's 2 men running up on the left. Can he hold it up? He does. Matadou calms it down, and it looks like the half-time whistle's about to go. A fantastic first half, but Raya's got us out of jail a couple of times. We still lead 1-0. Let's talk to the lads. The efforts were excellent, and they deserve lots of credit. Let's just tell them to keep it up in the second period. Oliveira gets the ball to Gilmour, and hopefully we can control possession a bit more, something we haven't done too well in this game. It's Konza at the back to Lewis. He goes to put the ball forward, but the highlight ends and we don't get to see what happens. 10 minutes into the half though, and the less highlights we see, the better. It's a throw on the right for Liverpool. We're into the last half an hour now. It's won back by Douglas Luiz. Bernard holds it up for Arzani. There's 3 in there. Bernard's one of them. Good save by the keeper again. Both goalkeepers have been absolutely excellent in this match. And we've got an outswinging corner now with Iwobi. Into the back post. Amari heads away. Out to Konza and now Iwobi again. Chiesa wins it back and goes long. Matadou should mop that up easily. The highlight ends, and with 25 to go, it's Liverpool trying to build another attack. Brass on the right hand side. Runs into the middle and finds Chiesa on the left. He's certainly been the danger man so far. He switches again to Alexander-Arnold. Beats the fullback with ease into Chiesa. Heads it just wide of the post. That was a really good chance for the home side. Thankfully we survive it and we'll make some changes shortly. It's a throw on the right for Matiju. Oliveira nicks it off Weigl the sub. Up to Bernard. Brilliant touch. He finds Iwobi. There's 3 running off him. Lewis the fullback into Arzani. We lead 2-0 at Anfield. What a wonderful performance this has been again. Away from home we just look such a solid side and we catch the top teams on the break so often. A wonderful performance. We're going to rest Bernard now. He's just back to fitness. He had 91% condition before the game. Greenwood the youngster's chomping at the bit and quite often makes a difference off the bench. So we'll give him 20 minutes to have a run around and we'll make a couple more changes in a few minutes. Vinicius Jr. and Julian Brandt are on, so 2 brilliant wingers for Liverpool and they're going to cause us a threat towards the end. Matiju's knackered but he's had a great game and we're certainly not bringing the youngster Chapman on in a game of this magnitude. It's Brandt in the middle to Chiesa. He switched to the right hand side it looks like. Back to Alexander-Arnold. Vinicius Jr. Salah with the shot. Did you see that save from Raya? That was like the old David Seaman against Pesky Salido. Arsenal v Sheffield United 0-3. What a wonderful save to claw it back off the line and luckily the rebound went wide. Thankfully from the corner they head over the bar and it looks like we're going to survive for a famous win. Douglas Luiz gets the ball to Arzani. He's been an absolute standout today. What a wonderful performance it's been from the winger. Iwobi goes for the shot over the bar. We're going to bring Oliveira off now. Ranzan's back from injury. He'll get 10 minutes. The wonder kid getting a taste of the FA Cup magic. Let's see if we can hold on as Salah has another corner. Alexander-Arnold with a block shot. Virgil van Dijk the same. The lads throwing their bodies on the line. They blocked the cross from Chiesa as well. And now we've got a 3-on-1. Iwobi gets it on the left-hand side as the striker had strayed offside. Into the back post, but Virgil van Dijk clears. And now Chiesa's coming forward again. We don't really like it being this end-to-end late on, but Lascelles mops up brilliantly and the highlight ends. Lambert on the left to Vinicius Jr. He gets it back to Lambert again. Wonderful cross for Chiesa. He was offside, but it didn't matter. It was already a brilliant save from Raya. He's just been absolutely unbeatable today. We're going to make one more substitution. Gilmore's had an average game and is quite tired. We're going to bring Christian Rivera on, just as his central midfielder on defend, to hopefully shore things up for the last few minutes. Let's see if we can see out the game. I'm really pleased with this performance. The goalkeeper's been amazing when called upon, but we've looked fairly good ourselves. Arzani loses out. Vinicius Jr. And I tell you what, no goalkeeper in the world keeps that out. What a strike. The pace it went in at. It would have taken Raya into the net with him if he got behind it. Vinicius Jr. again. It's starting to get a bit nervy back here now. Deflects wide of the post. And with 2 minutes to go, we're hanging on by a thread. Amari heads over the bar. We're going to drop to cautious. Team instructions to time waste. We're also going to in transition slow the pace down and just try and keep possession for the rest of the game. Liverpool are coming at us hard and they've got some brilliant attacking players if we give them space. Just stoppage time to go and fingers crossed we can hang on. 2 minutes into 4 added on. Rivera's got the ball to Jamal Lewis. His cross is blocked and it falls for Douglas Luiz. Back to Rivera. He's going to cut it inside. He's giving it away. Brand is in down the right-hand side. Awful pass by Rivera, the sub. Brand gets to the byline. Lascelles heads it clear. Arzani flicks it on further, but it's straight to Liverpool again. Lambert finds Weigl. Now Junior. He's coming down the left-hand side. Back to Lambert again. The cross is blocked and Douglas Luiz hacks clear. Now Mason Greenwood can just keep it up top. Slows the pace down brilliantly. Switches for Iwobi. There's 2 in the middle, but he's in no rush. Arzani's got the ball in there. Cuts it back, but it's blocked. I'd really rather he'd just gone to the corner flag there. We've got a man over on the left-hand side as well. Junior's been sensational since he came on. How has he not started the game? Maybe they're not prioritising the FA Cup. Ranzan over the top. Greenwood's chasing. Hacked away. What a game it's been again. A bit like the Chelsea one in the league a couple of episodes ago. A wonderful game of football. And it looks like the Stoke United tie's been identical. Stoke leading that one 3-2 now. Indeed, he gets the ball to Salah. Junior's beating his man again. Into Brand, but it's a brilliant block by Lascelles. We're just going to drop the fullbacks back. Mataju's getting caught out so much. He's going to go to a defensive duty, as is Jamal Lewis on the left. And we've just got to try and hold on by any means possible. I'm also going to drop Douglas Luiz as a deep line playmaker on defend, just so he's got a deeper starting position when Vinicius runs at him. It's Salah with the corner and out swinger. Raya comes out and claims it just when we needed the hero. He's there again. David Raya has been absolutely sensational, and although Arzani gets man of the match, Raya's been just as important with his contribution. A 2-1 win at Liverpool, and we're into the FA Cup quarter-finals, and United have fallen as well. We've got to look at Vinicius Jr. He is an absolutely sensational player. Why he's not starting regularly for that club, I don't know. He was absolutely frightening with his pace and agility on the break. Let's go and talk to the lads though. A fantastic performance. They played really well, and we're now into the last 8 with lots of the big boys out of the cup. There's the confirmation then. Let's see who else is in this round, just to find out who we're likely to be facing in the quarters. We'll come back for the draw in a minute, but I'm just intrigued to know. City are still in there, as are Spurs. We'll ignore Arsenal because they're 16th in the league and are no longer one of the big sides. But that means Chelsea must already be out, so we've got one less of the big sides left in the competition. With United out as well, it can only be City or Spurs, otherwise we've got a game we'd expect to be winning. Let's see what's been said about the game. We upstaged Liverpool and we deserved it as well. They're absolutely spot on with that. We've got some more prize money. We're going to go and praise both Arzani and Raya off camera, and we'll be back in a moment with a draw for the quarter-final. Okay, we're back for the quarter-final draw for the FA Cup. Both Spurs and City did get through, and I think all the sides left now are Premier League ones. So let's have a look and see who we get. The first team out of the hat is Spurs. We'd like to avoid them. They've drawn Huddersfield, who beat Arsenal in the last round as their poor season continued. Now it's Everton who are out of the hat. They've drawn Newcastle United. You can tell by the pause it's going to be us. Let's just get the rest of them out of the way. Stoke v City. Hopefully they can do the same as they did against United. And in Leeds, who are in the Championship, are home to 7th place Premier League side West Ham. So we've got Everton away. They're 11th in the Premier League at the moment. They've got a really decent side on their day, and they've got a world-class striker in Mauricio. If we go and have a look at him, and I mean world-class, he's absolutely top-notch, almost up there with Horace Stewart, the Ballon d'Or winner for Spurs. So we're going to have to be careful in that one. Probably the worst side we could have got outside the top 2, but I'm not making excuses. We'd expect to try and get through now. If we can get to the FA Cup final and get a competition on the board, it would be such a huge achievement for us, although our season's already been brilliant, with us up in 3rd place in the league. Who would have thought that? It's absolutely remarkable. The one thing I would say though, we've got a really tough spell coming up now, and it will really decide just how well we are going to do this year. We've got a decent run in aside from Chelsea apart from that, but the next 2 games are home to 7th West Ham, against 1st place Manchester City, and then away to 9th place Stoke. After that we've got a few slightly easier games, so the likes of Fulham and Bournemouth, who are down in the bottom half, but we really need to get a result in the next 3 games, or we can write our top 4 chances off. But knowing these lads, I'm sure they'll deliver. They've been remarkable all season. If you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of our performances against the top sides. They're absolutely blowing me away. I have no idea how we've managed to turn this club around so quickly. There was a lot of potential there, and yes, our chairman found a world-class director of football who's brought in 2 of the best free agents you'll ever see, but I don't know how we've got to the top so quickly. To be competing for the top 4 is ridiculous. I know we should be up in the top half, but this is absolutely insane at this stage. I don't need to tell you when we'll be back next. We'll be coming back for that FA Cup game against Everton. We'll have just had our youth intake then as well, so hopefully we'll have some good news to report from that. If we keep going on the run, you'll just see every FA Cup game till the end of the season, and on one of them we'll try and make it a double header with the league, or show the last game against Chelsea. It could yet be a crucial one in deciding a top 4 space or Europe for us, so we will definitely show that one on camera. Let me know who you think's been the director of football's best signing so far this year. I'm going for Oliveira in the number 10 role, despite his poor game that time out, but you guys may disagree. I'm interested to know your thoughts. Have you ever had a goalkeeper as good as David Raya as well? It just seems that he makes save after save, and some of the other keepers in this series have really been a bit suspect, but this one's been absolutely sensational. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my 2 long-term stories, this one the head coach, and in our One Club series Part of the Furniture with Torquay United, where we tried to take them to the top of English and European football from the lowest playable league. But a massive thanks for watching and your continued support with the series. I really do appreciate it as always, and we'll see you next time for another massive FA Cup tie.